Sekolah Sultan Alam Shah has always been a great school in every sense of the term. Students are outstanding in their academics and co-curriculum, and many would consider Sekolah Sultan Alam Shah as one of the best schools in the nation. Each student has iPad, which became a vital tool in every aspect of their life. Resources are readily made available online, and studying becomes much easier. Integrating the use of Apple products in a classroom setting enhances learning experiences and streamlines educational processes. On top of that, tools like FaceTime and collaborative apps such as Pages and Keynotes enable students and leaders to together seamlessly both in and out of the classroom.
Alam Shah has always been known for its consistent ongoing victories in various fields. Now, with the integration of Apple devices into our school's lifestyle, we have been able to attain new heights which would have been impossible in the past.
Apple allows us to integrate technology to the most sophisticated level in our daily lives, especially in the classroom. And we definitely live with Apple products and Apple hardware or software. We are given the freedom to explore the most innovative and creative ideas to enhance our daily lives and consequently our lives in general, as we prepare the students to face the challenging world with Apple.
Besides academic matters, Alam Shah also leaves a door open for students to explore their talents in classes, as well as various clubs and extracurricular activities made easily available for each student to participate. Besides allowing the students to exercise their imagination and creative spirit, the Apple devices that we integrate into our lifestyle are also given a chance to shine.
iPads has helped a student to achieve a better life at school. It helps with researching and saving information by using apps like Files, Keynotes and many more. It has also helped them taking notes easier by using apps like Notes and Freeform. Apple has improvised our education level to a higher standard.
Of course, the success of the student would be impossible without the support of our excellent teachers. They work tirelessly, brainstorming different ways to bring the best out of us students. They show proficiency in using Apple devices to communicate amongst themselves and come up with ways to let us students shine. It's only thanks to our teachers that we are able to fly. And the extra push that Apple devices offer only help to bring the students farther.
Realities are everywhere, but the truth is at MMU. Technology is everywhere, but efficiency is at MMU. There is you in MMU. Together, we lead the digital future. From AI engineering to animation, expertise in law, business, and ICT. It's all at Multimedia University. You and MMU, one destiny. Visit mmu.edu.my.
There is you in MMU.
Assalamualaikum and greetings and welcome back to the Alam Shah International Technodrama Competition 2026.
I am Arfan Rais,
And I'm Aryan Haraz.
and today we will be your moderators for this live podcast session. Now Aryan, without wasting any time, let's dive into the eligibility criteria of this year's Alam Shah Technodrama. For starters, this competition is open to all secondary school students throughout Malaysia, and it consists of a maximum of 17-year-old students only. Secondly, each team can have a maximum of 6 participants. However, Aryan, you have to remember that teams with 5 or 4 participants will not be punished. And each team must be accompanied by one teacher.
Now, moving on to the team and technical information about this whole competition. Firstly, the theme for this year will be Digital Humanity Reimagining the Future. Now, the maximum duration for your video is only 10 minutes including credits. Time penalties will be applied for exceeding in the allocated time. Secondly, for any use of foreign languages, there must be English subtitles to assist the viewer. The format of your video should be 16:9 with a landscape mode. The file type should be either .movie or .mp4. And lastly, the video codec must be H.264 or in 4K.
Onto the competition format, it's important that all participants remember that the performances must be in the form of a short technodrama that consists of these 3 important aspects. Number 1, multimedia elements. Participants are required to have audio-visual or interactive visuals in their videos. Second, technologies. Technologies such as AR, VR, holograms, robotics, and innovations are mandatory to be incorporated within your videos. And lastly, with technodrama fashion, it is compulsory for you to have a dramatic narrative or performance with a meaningful message.
Hey Arfan, I'm quite curious. How do these videos actually look like? Let's take a look, shall we?
Sure.
Aku lenggah. Apa tadi? Apa hal benda ni? Tak.
Jadilah
Aku tempat tinggal. Malah besar. Aman. Aduh, tinggal aku.
Weh, kau sana? Ni rumah orang tau.
Sorry.
Nabila, kau ada kentang tak? Kau tanam banyak sangat kentang. Aku sampai tak tahu nak buat apa.
Pantulan fokus kalau jatuh atas langsir memang boleh terbakar.
Days again. Mom hates me. Everyone hates me. What's wrong with me?
Anime is cool! And anime was there for me, manga was there for me. What is this place? Hey, traveler. I've been expecting you. Rookie,
Now, moving swiftly, there's something interesting about this competition. Besides the video submission, participants will also compete in the poster contest. Alongside your video, every group must create and submit a digital poster which fulfills the following 3 criteria. Number 1, it must be portrait-oriented and in English. Secondly, the poster must definitely include your country, the school name, your badge, name of all your group members, the supervising teacher, and the title of the video. Thirdly, posters must be uploaded together with the video in the Google form as well as on Instagram with the hashtag SASTVPSS 2026 which is to be submitted by 12th June.
Aryan, a poster contest sounds cool. Can we look at some examples from last year?
Yes, definitely. Let's take a look.
Now, onto the most nerve-wracking part of Alam Shah Technodrama, well, at least in my opinion, is the video submission. But don't worry, because that's what we're here for. Firstly, you must go to youtube.com and sign into your respective YouTube accounts. Once done, click the upload button, which is the camera icon with a plus sign, and select your video file. In the visibility section, choose unlisted. Click save, copy the video link, and paste it into the submission form, which will be given shortly by the admins. Make sure the link is accessible to anyone.
Hey Arfan, how do these videos actually look like? It sounds a bit complicated, honestly.
Well, there are numerous examples that we can take from last year, Aryan, so let's have a look.
Sorry.
Parang emotion.
Aku kat umur. Aku nak kau siapkan barang-barang ni kak. There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now.
Temannya kalau dunia ni boleh dengar.
Cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. Feel like Ali, rocking our bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible.
Sahabat saya murid-murid.
Every spotlight, every soundbite,
only work if the person truly wants to take it.
It's just a beautiful.
Alright, let's make it.
More than anybody against us. They can say what they want now. 'Cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all.
Now, even though drama is made for you to have fun and spark creativity, there are a few specific dress codes and contact guidelines that we all have to follow. Number 1, participants must be dressed modestly and appropriately in accordance with school norms. Secondly, your video must not include or contain any form of political messages, sensitive racial, religious or royalty content, vulgar or offensive language, and extreme violence. Lastly, all technology used must be safe, school appropriate, and most importantly, operable by students.
But we're not done yet, because there's still a few prohibited items and penalties that will be given to people who do not comply by the rules set. Firstly, usage of flammable materials, high-powered lasers, or any hazardous elements is strictly prohibited. Teams that violate these rules or individuals who are unable to comply are going to be facing these sorts of penalties. For example, point deductions, disqualification, and if it gets really bad, prohibition from future events.
Now, this is the most unique and important part of this event, and I think you've been waiting for this for a long time. Competition rubric. Now, after submitting a video, the judges will evaluate your video on 5 different elements. Number 1 is the creativity and innovation, which is 30% of your marks. Secondly, is the use of technological elements, which is 25%. And for your information, at least 50% of your video must include any form of technology aspect for you to achieve set 25% marks. Thirdly, is your acting and expression, which is 20%. And fourth, your language and intonation, which is 15%. And lastly, is your time management and script organization, which contributes 10%. Now, moving on to the timeline, we are currently at the second stage of the whole process, which is the briefing and workshop. After this, on the 29th of March, there will be an entry deadline. After that, from the 30th of March to 11th of June, students and teachers can have time to start your preparation period to craft the most amazing video you can truly make. After that, on the 25th of April, there will be the pro tip session so you can know how to make an amazing video. After that, which is the most important date here, the 12th of June, which will be the last day you can send in your video. After that, there will be a 2-week period in June where judges will evaluate your video. And lastly, the most long-awaited grand award ceremony will be the ceremony where you can see where your video is in the winners or not.
Now, Aryan, that looks like a very heavy tentative.
It is.
And I don't want to think about it that much now. So let's move on to the most exciting part of today's workshop, which is the workshop session. Firstly, we have to know that today we will be attended by 3 speakers from MMU University. They will be giving a talk about 3 things. Number 1, the pre-production aspect of your video. Participants will learn how to make the story come to life, learn the 3-act structure, and build an emotional arc for your story. Secondly, in the production phase, you will learn how to shoot like a pro, master those camera angles and framing techniques. And lastly, in the post-production phase, you will learn how to edit, use cool effects and sound, discover how to enhance your video, and use tools, visual effects, and audio.
Hello, hi, and my name is Ghazi Al-Qudsi. I'm a filmmaker and the Deputy Dean for Academics at Multimedia University Faculty of Cinematic Arts. Today I'm going to talk about the 3-act structure, how stories actually work. And this is a film narrative program for young storytellers like you. So the first question we would like to ask is, what is your favorite film? Some of you may be interested in commercial-driven films such as Harry Potter, Avengers, and Spider-Man. Another local film that is rising up is How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, a film from Thailand. So what is the similarities between all these films and all the films that you've been watching? You might have encountered films that you may not understand. This is because the structure or the clarity is not there. So what is structure, or what we call pattern? It's 3 simple words: beginning, middle, and ending. Beginning is the Act 1, middle is Act 2, and ending is Act 3. So, if we talk about the structure or the pattern of the film, when writing a film, there are some durations that you need to take into consideration. In Act 1, usually it happens about 25% of the story. The long duration happens in Act 2, middle, where it takes up about 50% of the story. And in Act 3, another 25%. So remember, Act 2 is the longest act when you are writing the story. So in Act 1, or what we call the beginning, it is also known as the setup. In Act 1, the beginning or the setup does 3 things. First, introduces the main character. Second, shows their normal world. And third, something changes everything. So this leads to the main question. That change is what we call inciting incident. Maybe it's still clueless for you, but let's take an example. In Act 1, the beginning, I crafted out a simple story that you can actually follow. I named this character Adam. First, you need to introduce your character. So I say Adam is 14-year-old student who loves writing stories. He hates speaking in front of people. Whenever the teacher asks him to present, his hands shake and his voice becomes soft. So this is a character introduction. You're introducing the character by describing or showing visually what your character is. It's important for you to ensure that the character is developed and portrayed very well. Some questions that you might want to ask while writing this character: where does he live? What does he like to do? What stops him to do what he likes to do? And this will lead up to the change. One day, his English teacher announced a school storytelling competition. To Adam's horror, she submits his name because she believes in his talent. So here you realize that there is a change. There's something that happens that struck the change. Now Adam must perform in front of the whole school in 1 month. So the main question here is, will Adam overcome his fear and perform? So back to the first Act 1 beginning, we've already introduced the main character, which is Adam. We also show his normal world, which is he's a student in a classroom. He likes writing. He doesn't really like to present or talk to public. When he talks, his voice turns soft and trembles. But one day, something changed. His teacher submitted his name to a storytelling competition. So we begin with all this, and this is what we call Act 1. So let's test your understanding. First question: what is the inciting incident? A. The ending of the story. B. The moment that changes the character's life. C. A flashback scene. Or D. A side character introduction. You have 10 seconds, and the timer starts now. And the answer is, what is the inciting incident? It's actually the moment that changes the character's life. Remember, in Act 1, there's always something, a change, that changes the life of the character. Second question: what must Act 1 clearly establish? A. The final battle. B. The theme music. C. Who the main character is and what they want. Or D. The resolution. You have 10 seconds and the time starts now. So what must Act 1 clearly establish? And the answer is C. Who the main character is and what they want. Congratulations for those who got it right. The final question for Act 1 will be, if Act 1 is too long, the film will feel A. Focused. B. Fast. C. Slow and dragging. D. Complete. Remember when I told you the duration in percentage of what Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3 should be? You have 10 seconds. If Act 1 is too long, the film feels C. Slow and dragging, and that's what you wouldn't want your film to be. So ensure that Act 1 is only 25%, followed by 50% of Act 2 and another 25% for Act 3. And let's move to the next act. Act number 2, middle. Act 2 is the longest part and also known as the struggle. What happens in Act 2? The character tries to solve the problem. They face obstacles. Stakes increases. Things get worse. So what is Act 2? Act 2 is the rising tension. Something happens in Act 1, so Act 2 is when the character do something upon it. Let's take a look at an example, continuing the same story from earlier. Adam tries to practice, but every time he imagines standing on stage, he freezes. This is where the character tries to solve the problem. You continue by having his friends encouraging him, but he keeps thinking he will embarrass himself. During rehearsal, he forgets his lines. Some students laugh. He feels worse and almost quit the competition. At home, his younger sister asks him to tell the story he wrote. While telling this to her, he forgets he is performing. He just enjoys sharing the story. He realizes something. He doesn't need to be perfect. He just needs to tell the story honestly. Here you see that he faces obstacles, people, students laughing at him. That makes him feel worse, and the stake increases because now you have another character, his sister, who tries to motivate him, but at the same time he knows that there is additional pressure. Things get worse because he still isn't fully confident. So now, let's test your understanding about Act number 2. Why is Act 2 the longest? A. Because nothing happens. B. Because it contains the character struggle. C. Because it is the introduction. Or D. Because it has songs. You have 10 seconds and the time starts now. Why is Act 2 the longest? The answer is B. Because it contains the character's struggle. Remember, the character tries to solve the problem, they face obstacles, stakes increases, things get worse, and all these are struggles for the character. The second question, what happens if the obstacle in Act 2 are too easy? The film becomes A. Emotional. B. Predictable and boring. C. Suspenseful. Or D. Meaningful. You have 10 seconds and start thinking. What happens if the obstacle in Act 2 are too easy? The film will become, and the answer is, predictable and boring. You wouldn't want your film to be so predictable, because when it's so predictable, audience will lose their attention and do not want to continue watching it. At the same time, you wouldn't want it to be boring. Films should be engaging. Films should want the audience to keep wanting to know what's gonna happen. Next question, what is the purpose of rising stakes? Is it A, to confuse the audience, B, to make the conflict feel more important? C. To shorten the film? Or is it D. To introduce random twists? You have 10 seconds. Start thinking. So the reason and purpose of Rising Stakes is to make the conflict feel more important. You want audience to feel for the character, not just understand, but put themselves into the character's shoes. We've completed Act 1 and Act 2. Now, let's talk about Act 3, the ending. In writing, Act 3 is also known as resolution. In Act 3, you must include final confrontation, emotional climax, answer to the main question, and also new normal life. Remember in the example that I've actually given to you, the main question is, will Adam overcome his fear and perform? So in Act 3, you must understand that this whole act is to deliver a payoff. What it means by delivering a payoff is making sure audience get a conclusion, gets a resolution to their story. After spending minutes of engaging in your story, they now get to learn what's the change. So let's go back to the example that I've given you about Adam. Competition day arrives. Adam walks onto the stage. His heart beats fast. For a moment, he wants to run away. And this is the final confrontation that I've meant earlier. Then he remembers how he told the story to his sister. He takes a long, deep breath and begins. At first, his voice is quiet. But as he continues, he becomes more comfortable. The audience starts listening carefully. Some even smile. When he finishes, the hall is in silence for a second. Then applause fills the room. After the final confrontation, you must have the character going through the confrontation and what happened. And this is what we call the emotional climax. Back to the example. Adam doesn't win first prize, but he smiles because he did something more important. He faced his fear. And this is back to answering the main question. Will Adam overcome his fear and perform? He did overcome his fear. He did perform. It doesn't matter whether he wins the first prize or second prize because, like I've mentioned, it answers the main question. Lastly, a new normal life, which means that you need to present to your audience what Adam will go through after going through all this confrontational and main question. In this case, I wrote, the next day, Adam goes back to school and his teacher congratulates him. What it means by new normal life is bringing back the audience to the first place where Adam is scared. But now, the new normal is he overcome that scared emotion. He's now someone who's able to perform and overcome his fear. And his teacher congratulates him. So that is Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Why this example work? In Act 1, we introduce Adam. He has a fear, the competition, and that's the problem. In Act 2, you see Adam's obstacles, his embarrassment, his doubt over himself, and that is the rising tension. In Act 3, Adam's final performance demonstrated the climax and the emotional payoff. Audience will be cheering for him. to ensure that he overcomes his fear. We are done with Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3, but we are not done with testing your understanding of Act 3. Let's go to the quiz. What must Act 3 do? Is it A, introduce new problems? Or is it B, answer the main dramatic question? Perhaps it's C, restart the story. Or is it D, remove the main character? As usual, you have 10 seconds to think. The time starts now. So what must Act 3 do? It must answer the main dramatic question. As I've explained earlier, in Act 1, you define the main problem. And in Act 3, you must answer the main problem. The second question. If the ending feels random, it means, is it A, Act 2 was too strong? Or is it B, Act 1 didn't set up properly? Or is it C, the climax wasn't earned? Perhaps it's D, the film was too short. You have 10 seconds. So the answer to if the ending feels random, it only means the climax wasn't earned, which means that your Act 2 climax wasn't high enough, the stake wasn't high, and the payoff in Act 3 couldn't redeem that. So remember, you need a good Act 2 to have a good Act 3. The last question. A strong Act 3 should make the audience feel A, nothing, B, confused, C, emotionally satisfied, D, bored. The final answer to this final question is a strong Act 3 should make the audience feel C, emotionally satisfied. By doing this, you're allowing the audience to appreciate your story, appreciate your character, and most importantly, they feel emotionally attached to your character and the story. So that's why it's a bottle down effect. A good Act 3 is done because it has a good Act 2, and a good Act 2 is achieved because you have a good Act 1. So Act 1, introduce the beginning, which is introduce the character. Act 2, middle, introduce the struggle. And Act 3, resolution, introduce what happened after that relates to the main question. Let's remember this very important visual structure. In Act 1, it is 25% of the story. Act 2, it should hold 50% of the story. And in Act 3, it's 25% of the story. So let's say you're making a 8-minute film. So Act 1 should be the setup. It should hold about 2 minutes. In Act 2 is the struggle. It should hold about 4 minutes. And in Act 3, it should be about 2 minutes, which is the resolution. Let's do a simple exercise. What I want you to do is pause this video right after I've explained the exercise and start doing it. What I'm gonna give is the premise of the story. A student accidentally sends a private message to the entire school. So now what I want you to do is structure it. put the 3-act structure into it. Remember, Act 1 introduces the main character, shows the normal world, and something changes everything. In Act 2, the character tries to solve the problem. They face obstacles, stakes increases, and things get worse. And in Act 3, final confrontation, emotional climax. Answer the main question and portray the new normal life. Take this as a simple exercise because the only way for you to get better in writing is to continue practicing it. Pause the video and start writing Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. So we are done with the simple exercise. What you should do now is take that story, that paper that you've already written something on it, and go and share it with your friends, family. And after reading the story to them, ask them one simple question. Do you understand the story? Is it clear enough? And if it's clear and they understand what you're trying to say, it means that you have successfully understood the 3-act structure. So in conclusion, every story is about change. The character needs to change, the landscape needs to change, the place needs to change. The 3-act structure helps to organize the change. And last but not least, once you understand the structure, you control the audience emotion. And that's what you want in a story. You want the audience to feel something. With that, in this presentation of the 3-act structure, how stories actually work, I hope you have learned something and use this new knowledge that you've known about 3-act structure in your film. And it doesn't stop there. You can actually use 3-act structure in your daily life. For example, when you're replying a WhatsApp message or even crafting an email, always remember there must be a beginning, middle, and end. Thank you for listening and signing off. Goodbye.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. First off, I would like to say thank you very much for being here. Thank you for participating and wanting to learn something new today. My name is Syed Ahmad Hussein and I am the first one in my family to have a career in filmmaking. Growing up, I love watching films. I used to watch films every single day, whether it's on television or cinema or even buying DVDs, which you don't have anymore nowadays, because we just watch movies on Netflix and Prime and all these OTT platforms nowadays. I hope I am not the only movie junkie here. I hope there are some of you who have the same interest as me and who would like to pursue your career in filmmaking, whether it's in Malaysia or outside of Malaysia. Okay, so today's session is all about transforming you into smartphone cinematography pros. So by the end of this lecture, you'll be able to understand how to use camera angles and shot sizes to tell powerful stories, all with that smartphone that is probably in your pockets right now. So let's start with the basics. What is cinematography? So cinematography is the art of photography and technique of visual storytelling in motion pictures, specifically films and movies. There's many elements to cinematography, such as framing and composition, lighting, camera movement, lens choices, camera angle, and also exposure. In simple terms, cinematography is essentially the language of the image. I repeat again, cinematography is essentially the language of the image. So we're not going to go through in depth for all the elements, but we're going to be focusing into just two of these major elements that I think all cinematographers should have. So the first element is camera angles, and the second one is shot sizes. So camera angles is basically the position and direction from which you capture your scene using the camera, and shot sizes is basically how much of the subject that you include in your frame. So introduction to camera angles. So these two elements, they work together to create a meaning, emotions in your storytelling. So let's talk about camera angles. What are they? So they are basically the direction for which the camera is pointed to in a scene. So they are incredibly powerful because they help us tell the story and show how the characters in the film feels. So camera angles are important because they show emotions, the characters' inner state, whether they are happy or sad or feeling overwhelmed, and etc. And camera angles also help to create the mood of the film. So it makes us feel the tension, the peace, the excitement in the film. And also they make a scene more exciting and also help the audience to understand what is going on in the story. So first off, let's look at the eye level. So eye level is the neutral perspective. Like when you're talking to your friends right now, you see each other eye to eye level. So if you see this image right here, do you notice that you have some sort of feeling looking at her? So that is because you feel a little bit connected because of this position of the camera, because you are eye to someone that you're speaking to, so you feel more connected. Now let's go a little bit higher. So high angle means that we're looking down on the characters. So this is a shot from Avengers, as you can see. Captain America, which is the leader of the Avengers. So the filmmaker chose to portray Captain America from the high angle, making him look weak and small. So even though Captain America is a superhero and the leader of the team, it makes him feel a little bit overwhelmed. So this scene was the scene where they were fighting the aliens in the city, and they were at the climax of the scene, and they were about to lose because they are outgunned and there's too many aliens to fight. Okay, now we go to the opposite, which is the low angle. So the low angle is essentially just the opposite. It's where you position the camera low and tilt up towards the characters, making them look stronger and powerful, just like this shot in Dark Knight, where the character is posing. It's like it's some sort of posing, and it's intimidating for other people to look at him. He looks more powerful in this shot. Okay, so quick recap. So eye level makes you feel neutral, relatable, more connection to the audience and the characters. A high angle makes your characters look small and weak, and a low angle makes your subject look more powerful and intimidating. So use angles to match your characters feel in that moment. So let's try a mental exercise for a minute. I want everyone to close your eyes just for 1 minute. So close your eyes and try to imagine there's two people in a room. Let's say two people in a classroom. So you have the good guy, the protagonist, the good guy on the right side, and you have the bad guy, the villain, on the left side. So the scene starts with eye level of them looking at each other. Can you see that? Can you imagine that? Okay, and then they start to fight, and then the villain pushes the good guy to the floor. So now suddenly the scene dynamic looks like this. Can you imagine that? So now the low angle is portraying the villain as intimidating because he looks big, and the good guy on the floor with the high angle makes him looks weak. Okay, good. Let's move on. So now let's continue to the second element, which is shot sizes. Basically, shot sizes control what the audience sees and again feels. They set the mood and focus, and they help tell your story visually without using any words. So keep in mind that different shots equal different impacts. So the first one, we have an extreme wide shot. So what do you see from this shot? Firstly, you see the mountains, right? Yes, good. So that is the landscape. So we understand that the story takes place in a rural area. So what else do you see in that photo? You see a huge building maybe, and you see tiny people, right? So we see our characters from very far off. So this kind of shot, extreme wide shot, are usually used in the beginning, in the opening of a film, to establish a location. So whether it's in KLCC, whether it's a shot of a house in a kampong area, whether it's a shot of a New York, whether it's a shot on the mountain like this, so it sets the mood and tone for the whole film. It sets the location for the whole film. So now we move on to the next shot, which is a little bit closer. It is called a wide shot. So basically, a wide shot is it shows the full subject from head to toe, and includes background, the surrounding. So we see the character interacting or doing their daily lives in the surrounding. So this shot is fantastic for action scenes, big group movement, and showing settings with the character. And the next one, we have a medium shot, where we go even closer to our subjects, from the waist up. And if you realize, this is actually the most common shot for conversations that you see in movies, because we can see both the characters' faces, their facial expression, and also their body language. So it's perfect for dialogue scenes and interaction scenes. And the next one, we have a medium close-up, which frames your subject roughly from the chest up. So we're getting more and more closer to the face. So this is close-up. The shot feels more intimate because we can now clearly see every detail on the face of the characters, and even more emotions. So close-ups are powerful for internal feelings, reactions, and also showing important items or objects. So not necessarily just for humans, so we can have close-ups for important objects. For example, you want to highlight a photo in a frame, a key, a ball, a dinner, dishes on the table. So whatever you want to highlight that is important for the scene, for the audience to understand, you can use a close-up. And now the last one is we have an extreme close-up. So we don't use this shot very often because the more you use it, the less impact it gives. So we usually use it when only necessary in films. So ECU, it focuses on very small details like the eyes. If you want to have tears, you have blood on the face or blood on the hands, so it creates tension and extreme emphasis on something that you want the audience to understand, you want the audience to see and feel. So of course, when you're making a film, or in this case a short film, you have to mix your shot sizes, right? So remember to use wide shot for a bigger one to show locations, a medium shot for more connection, and close-ups for emotions. And also always to try to variety your shots to keep your films visually interesting and emotionally engaging for the audience. Right, so now let's take a breather. Let's take a 30 seconds breather before I play this scene from Spider-Man. Ready? So I want you to try and spot how many shots, sizes, and how many types of angles that we use in this 90-second scenes. Okay, let's go. Okay, I hope you guys have watched this film because I'm going to tell you the spoiler. So this scene is the ending scene of Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021. So this is the scene where Peter Parker, the main character, he has just lost everything. He has lost his beloved Auntie May. He has lost his friends. Everyone has forgotten about him, and he is now completely alone in the world. So let's try and analyze how the filmmakers use these many types of shots to convey his emotions. Right, so the first one, they started the scene using a close-up, not of the character but of objects. So you can see it's basically a door. It's an old door, a gritty kind of dirty looking door. So it emphasizes on the texture of the house. The filmmakers want us to see the gritty and the dirtiness of the door frame, and it suggests that it is an old building, not so well maintained building, juxtaposed to Peter Parker's opening scene where he was in his room in the house, in the Auntie May's house, where it's very bright and shiny and everything feels new. And then they use the second shot is a wide shot where we see an empty, dimly lit apartment with sunlight coming through the window. So it feels very dark even though it's during the day. A very simple bed and a table inside there. So again, this establishes a new setting. It's a new home. It's a very simple house and a very lonely place for Peter. It also wants to emphasize on Peter's isolation now that he has no more friends and no relatives left, no Auntie May. And it's a very beautiful shot because the symmetry shows the quiet order while the emptiness suggests loss and the feeling of starting over. And then we have a wide shot of Peter standing outside of the doorway. Once he opened the door, we can see him, his body language, he froze when he looked inside the room. So we can see the body language of loneliness and feeling helplessness, and the way they compose it and the way they frame it, that he is in the middle of the center of the frame in a wide shot. So we can see the whole place, which is a bit run down and a bit dirty, and we get a sense that he is a very small figure in this new world. And then we go to the medium close-up where we see his face clearly, his emotion and his reaction to this new life. He's not smiling. He looks a bit worried, and again you can feel like he's a bit lonely in this world. And then we have a close-up of objects that he brings in his box. So that is to give us a glimpse of his past, a glimpse of his belonging, the stuff that he brings to this new space. So he has some books and some toys. The last one, we have a medium wide shot where we can see the frame is mostly occupied by the building and a very small space inside the window where we can see Peter. Peter is seen as a very small figure staring out into the bigger world out there now that he is alone. Using the high angle, it kind of indicates that Peter is feeling very uncertain of himself, and the audience, we see him as the audience are at a superior position. Okay, so notice how in just 90 seconds of screen time, the filmmakers use a lot of shots, multiple shots, different sizes and different angles, and composition, and without a single line of dialogue, we are able to understand Peter's feelings, internal feelings. And believe it or not, you can also achieve this with your smartphones. So this is an app that you can download on your phone. It's compatible for iOS and also Android. You can search Blackmagic Camera app, or you can also just use your camera phone. Just go to the settings, make sure you set to a good resolution on your phone, whether it's 1080 or 4K. Turn on the grid, which has the lines for you, so you can learn how to compose your shots. Okay, so we have come to the end of our session. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you learned something from this session. Good luck with your Technodramas. I wish you all the best. Good luck and thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Hafizun Aziz. Today I'm gonna walk you guys through CapCut video editing workflow for the SAS Technodrama competition. So what is CapCut? CapCut is a very powerful video editing tool that you can use to edit your films after you have shot all your footages. And the basic needs that you need to know is after you have finished your short film, I will guide you on how to edit, how to cut your videos, how to put transitions, how to put effects, and also finally put music or any sound effects. And lastly, the last thing that you need to do is to export it into a full-length short film. Okay, let me give you a tour on how do you export all your footages. First, you need to click the import button. So this is where you can select all your video files. So like for this example, I will select these two files and I will click open. So this is where you can see your video files are. So for this example, I want to show you how do you edit or a simple cut for your video. So the first thing you want to do is click the plus button, so it will add the videos to the timeline. So as you can see here, your videos will straight away go to the timeline, and you can play, you can have a look at your footages. So a simple thing that you want to do is to cut your videos. So these are the tools that you need to use. You can see if I roll over to the icons, this is the split icon where you can cut any footages. This is the delete left, delete right, and this is to delete the footages. So for this example, I want to cut the footages into two. So I'll just click the split button, and straight away you can see that there are two files here that you can use, or you can delete the other part that you do not want. So if you want to use the file and you want to lengthen it, you can just simply drag the file in the timeline, and then you can straight away see that your files has been lengthened to its final or its full position. Okay, for this instance, I want to show you how you can use a very simple tool where you can use a green screen, and you can use another background in the video, so that you can chroma the actor in the scene, and then use another backdrop or background in your film. So by doing this, you can just simply click, go to the remove BG or remove background, and then just click the chroma key, and you can select the color picker and just click wherever the color, like for this example, I will click on the green screen. As you can see, if you roll over to the green screen, the background will be removed, and straight away you can get your chroma key. So after you have chroma keyed the footage, so next you need to do is to crop this footage so that you can just use the middle part. So you just right click on the timeline of the footage itself, and you go to edit and you click crop. So it will come out with another option where you can crop your image just now. So I'm gonna crop this image just to the center and to cover up the left and right props that you can see, and I'll just be using the center screen. So I'll just click confirm, and you can see the image has been chroma keyed 100%, and you can straight away use it for any background. So the next one, I would like to add a background to the image itself. So let me just play for you how does the image looks like. Okay, now by simply going to your media folder, just add in another background that I have here, and I'll just put it below the timeline of the first image here. So just by a simple drag, you can just easily move around the footages. And afterwards, I want this footage to be the same as the length, the same as the first footage. So I'll just simply click and drag until I find and snap it into the end of the first footage. So now I have two footages combined together with the first footage of the actor chroma keyed into the first video. Now as you can see here, my image is not 16:9, it's 4:3. So how do I make it full? It's just by simply going to the video editing, and then just go to the basic button here, and you can see here there is a scale button that you can simply crop out from the first footage, and you can see the image will be scaled out until you can see there is no more black left and right. So at 138%, I think this is good enough. Next, as you can see, the actor is floating. So what you need to do is, let's edit and scale down the first footage so that it will fit in our background. So I'll be putting the scale at maybe perhaps 60%. Right, I think that's good enough. And it's the next part is you want to move the first image in the background so that it will fit in, or it will look naturally in your background. So I'll be putting this and dragging the first footage to the end of this scene. So let's have a look at how does it look like. Yeah, as you can see, it looks more natural. And that's how you do chroma key if you are working with green screen. So if you have two or more footages, you can just simply drag and drop the footages, or just by clicking the add to track video. So let's say if you have another footage, you can simply just drag it and put it on the next clip, and then you can simply edit it out which part that you want to use your video, and that's how you edit your clips. So next, let's go to how do you put text in your footages. So from the timeline here that I have, the first video here, I'm going to put a text just above it. So how do you do this? Is just by simply drag. You can just drag to your timeline, or you can simply click the plus button, and you can see the default text is already placed in your timeline. So I'll be deleting this first. So how do you put the text, and you want the text just in the beginning of the footages? You can just simply drag and the timeline button, whether you want it to be longer or you want it to be shorter. So for this instance, maybe perhaps I'll do it at a 5-second title. So I'm going to change the title. You can just simply go to the next text button here, and then you can see there's a button that you can change the text. I'm going to change this tag to chroma key. So it's easy to move around the text, where you can just simply drag and you can just simply put it, whether you want it at the middle, you want it on the side, or whichever that you feel comfortable for your film. So maybe perhaps for this example, I'll just put it in the center, just right above this arch here. And you can change the color, you can put it to bold, you can change it to italic, you can put underline, and you can also change the color. Maybe perhaps I'll just change this color to a more brighter color so that you can see. I'll just be using this red color here, right, so that it looks more contrast. And let's have a look, how does it look like? So as I mentioned just now, you can simply make the text longer by just dragging it out. So after you have this text in, the next one, what you want to do is maybe perhaps you want to put an audio. So just by clicking the audio button here, there's a lot of free audios that you can use, or you can also import some original songs or sound effects that you have from your library. So for this example, I'll just be using what CapCut has in the software itself. So I'm just going to use this first music, which is called Velvet Drive. I'm just going to click download here. So while waiting for it to download, or you can just simply click add to track. As you can see here, you can see the track has already been in the timeline. So you can see I don't want the track to be long. I'll just drag the soundtrack just right until the end of my first footage. Okay, let me show you how does it sound like. So yeah, that's how you add music to your timeline or your film. So let's say if you want to put maybe a sound effect, or maybe you have a narration or whatnot, it's the same thing. You can just import, click import, and you can just import any sound file that you have, and it will straight away include or insert inside the timeline. So I'm gonna show you an example of, maybe I want to I'm gonna search for maybe a city sound. Okay, there is a city street ambient sound. I'm gonna download this and I'm gonna add it in to our timeline. So I'm just gonna put this sound below, like I shown just now. Maybe the easiest way for you to cut this is just by clicking the split button and just click delete, so that the sound will match your footage. So let's have a listen on how does the city street or ambient sound like in the footage. Right, that sounds good. So there you have it. So maybe perhaps I'm going to show you some other things that you can do in CapCut. There's an effect button where you can add in some cool effects. There's a lot of effects in CapCut. I'm not going to show you everything, but maybe perhaps I'm going to show you what are the cool things that you can do in CapCut that I believe can really enhance your short films. Right, next I'm gonna show you some cool effects that you can use and put in your timeline. So for this example, I'll be using this first effect, which is called frantic shots. So how to use this is just by clicking download, and you can just simply drag this to the footage that you want. So for this effect, I'll be dragging this to the first background image. So how cool is that? But maybe perhaps for this example, I'm just showing you how does effects works in your timeline. But for this film, maybe it's not really suitable for this kind of effect. So there's a lot of effect that you can use. As you can see here, CapCut really put in a lot of really cool effects that you can use for social media, for maybe TikTok, but for short films, I believe the best is just by using a simple cut and maybe straight away focus on your storyline. So the next one I want to show you is transition. You can easily put transitions into your timeline. For instance, I'll just add another footage here right next to the green screen, and I'll just add a very basic transition such as this trample zoom. I'll just download this and I'll just add in and paste it on the timeline here. So as you can see, I'll just show you how does it look like. So this is how transitions are inserted into your timeline. So it can be not just this transition. You can CapCut really gives you a lot of options where you can use, maybe you can use fade to black, you want to use maybe a white or a zoom switch. So let's try this zoom switch right here. So I'm not gonna use this, I'm just showing you guys. So the next one, maybe perhaps filters. There are some cool filters that you can use and put in your timeline and your film, where maybe perhaps you want to give a certain look or a certain feel to your short film. Maybe for instance, I want my short film to look like an oldies. Then I'll just change it to a black and white. So it's just by simply clicking or adding it here. You can see I can just simply drag the timeline and I'll get a black and white footage for my timeline. So this is just one example that I can show you guys. There's a lot of filters that you can use. So after everything has been completely done, you've edited your film, you have trimmed, you have put it sound, you have put some music, and then you have put titles. So the next thing that you want to do is to export your film. So how do you export your film? It's just by going to this button export right here. So you can just simply click export, and then you can see that there's a lot of options here. Where do you put you want to export to? You can just simply put in a folder where your folder is. So for this example, I'll just giving my film, and then I'll be choosing the resolution here is 1080p, so I think that's good. Or perhaps you want to export it out in 2K or 4K, so that's up to you. So for the bitrate, I would recommend you use recommended. or if you prefer a higher bitrate, so this is some examples that you can explore as well. And the codec, just leave the H.264 so that you can use the MP4 format. And then for frame rate, for me myself personally, I would love to use 25 frames per second, but it's up to you. If you're using or filming using 50 frames per second, you can also try and explore other frames per second, but the standard rate for Malaysia is 25 frames per second. And after you have already checked all the options here, you can just simply click export. But before that, you can have a look the duration of your film and the size. So after I've selected all these options right here, my duration of the film is 13 seconds and the size is about 19 megabyte. So after I click export, so you can just simply wait for your film to be exported. So before the exported film is ready, I want you to know that all the functions that we have in CapCut is available if you subscribe to the Pro version. So if you're just using the basic version, there's a lot of limitations that you need to know, and what I suggest is maybe perhaps you can find your own music or sound effects. So let's have a look at the final film that I have done here. So I'll just click my film, full train. So this is the final film that I have rendered out. As you can see, it's in full HD and the footage looks great. I have the subtitle there. Okay, there you have it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have the basic understanding on how to use CapCut, and I wish you all the best in this SAS Technodrama competition. Have fun, be creative, and I see you next time.
Aryan, what do you think about our workshop just now?
Well, I thought it was amazing. I definitely learned a lot about drama production and how to actually make art.
Well, with our workshop ending just now, our podcast also comes to an end. We as the moderators of today's podcast would like to wish every participant the very best of luck. Do your best, and we can't wait to see your videos. Bye!
Goodbye!